Now on CoastTV News.
District 20 drama. With another no-show day for Representative Stell Parker-Selby, there is a challenger already eyeing to take this seat in the next election.
Cannabis clash. We look at the latest marijuana legislation in Dover and how it would affect Sussex County.
Help for the homeless. The plans being reviewed today to create a facility in Lewis at a former state police barrack.
A cool and breezy Wednesday for Delmarva, then protect your plants tonight for the potential of frost. Then warming up into the Easter holiday weekend. All those details coming up.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025.
We are at the halfway point of the week, at the halfway point of the month. And
yeah.
Now that we're in these warmer weather months, Elisa, I say let's savor them.
Oh, I agree with you, Matt. And I did notice over the weekend where I live, they put the pool furniture out. They put all the tables and obviously it's a little cold now.
Right, but
to sit by the pool,
another
but
hint that
it's a good
summer's
sign.
coming.
Exactly, and
Beach
Bob,
time.
I think that means people just want the warm weather. Come on.
I know. We want to rush that warm weather in this time of year, but Mother Nature pushes back with these cold shots, and we are in one of those cooler snaps now, and that will continue for a couple of days. 48 out the door right now in Seaford, 48 in Redden, 46 in Ocean Pines, so not too chilly out the door. 48 in Bethany Beach, as the winds are now gusting around 15 to close to 20 miles per hour. They'll be really strong as we go into the afternoon hours, as we're seeing some blue skies and also a few clouds as well. We'll call it partly cloudy. I think that'll be the case really much of the day, as our flow is coming in out of the northwest, even cold enough for some snow from the mountains of West Virginia up into New York. We're not going to see that. We're definitely going to see the cooler air, though. Let's walk you through it on Futurecast. Mid-40s this morning around 7 a.m. Then the breezes start picking up through the morning as we're warming through the low 50s. By the noon hour, mid-50s, but feeling much colder as those winds become stronger into the afternoon. Around 60 away from the coast around 3 p.m. Slightly cooler at the beaches, but you'll be feeling that wind, so drive with caution, 2 hands on the wheel. And for the kids off to school, 48, breezy and cool this morning, and then heading home, still a bit of a nip to the air, 58 degrees. I'll call it windy and cool, with those winds maybe gusting up to 35 miles per hour at times.
All right. Thanks, Bob, for that. We're getting a live look now at Dover. Plenty of political intrigue occurring as the 153rd session of the General Assembly resumes today at Legislative Hall. And we're nearly 3 months into this session, and the woman who represents District 20, Democrat Stell Parker-Selby, continues to be a no-show. On Tuesday, CoastTV was in Dover at Legislative Hall looking for updates on Representative Parker-Selby, and we were told the representative is still on the road to recovery, but nobody could or would confirm that the representative is working from home. Starting today, there are about 75 days remaining of this session at Legislative Hall.
And just 6 months after Parker-Selby won re-election, the woman who ran against her in November, Nikki Miller, says she is running again. In 2024, Miller ran as a Republican to represent District 20. She lost by just 245 votes, and according to her official Facebook page, she recently kicked off her campaign for 2026, running for that same seat.
Now here's some background on Delaware House District 20. It covers practically all of Milton, parts of Lewis, parts of Harbison and Georgetown, and according to the Delaware Republican Party, there are over 23,000 registered voters in District 20. This does bring us to our CoastTV poll. We are asking what matters most in local representative.
And so far, about 66% of voters say voting record, 29% say accessibility, 4% say transparency, and 1% community presence. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttv.com or over on our mobile app.
From Dover State Capitol to the nation's capital, I should say, Washington, D.C., in that building there, the Capitol building. We are not expecting to see Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen today. He says he is traveling to El Salvador in the attempt to bring back to the U.S. a migrant who entered the country illegally, lived in Maryland, whose legal status is in question, and who was deported by the Trump administration.
As NBC's Alice Barr shows us, the battle is over who the Trump administration can deport and who it can't, and what role the federal courts play in that process.
This morning, an escalating legal test as a federal judge issued new orders for the Trump administration to turn over evidence of what it's done to abide by her ruling to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia back to the U.S., signaling that without action so far, she's considering contempt proceedings against the administration. The father of 3 was deported to a notorious prison in El Salvador through what Justice Department officials initially called an administrative error.
Enough is enough. My family can't be robbed from another day without seeing Kilmar.
The Supreme Court has ruled the administration must facilitate Abrego Garcia's return to the U.S., but the White House argues El Salvador would have to first initiate his release.
He's from El Salvador, so that's a decision up to El Salvador.
Now arguing he was not mistakenly deported, pointing to a previous judge's ruling that Abrego Garcia was part of the MS-13 gang, though his attorneys dispute that, citing questionable testimony from a confidential informant. Abrego Garcia has never been criminally convicted in the U.S. or El Salvador. He entered the U.S. illegally in 2011 and was granted protected status in 2019 to prevent being deported to El Salvador because of potential dangers. He's been living in Maryland, and a Democratic senator from the state told a town hall he's headed to El Salvador today.
To work to bring him home.
Democrats pressing the issue as legal experts argue the case raises questions about due process for anyone in the U.S. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening today, Sussex County Planning and Zoning Committee is set to discuss a conditional use request for a homeless encampment on Route 1 called Tiros. Code Purple at the Cape is making the request, and Site Director Mike Agnew has been working to bring this community back. Tents were placed at the old Troop 7 lot in Lewis during the fall. Agnew says it's important for the homeless and the community to get this up and running again.
Should the county vote down the opportunity to open Tiros in April, then everything that we've accomplished since last October will be at a loss.
According to Agnew, he needs that conditional land use permit and approval from the Sussex County Council to reopen Tiros. If the Planning and Zoning Committee grants approval, that request could be taken up by the County Council.
And also at that same meeting, we could see movement on a proposal to bring more businesses and apartments to Lewis. This is at the farm property on Route 24. It's right next to the Beacon Middle School. The developers are asking the commission for a zoning change. The change is from agriculture residential to a C4 planned commercial district. Now, we went to that area and spoke to some people who live near Bellmead Horse Farm. Here's what one woman told us.
I came here because I felt that it was less congested than New York. You know, coming out of Queens, New York and going into Long Island, that's really a headache of traffic. So it looks like they're heading that way too.
If the project is approved, construction is expected to be completed in 2032. Sussex County Planning and Zoning Commission is meeting tonight at 5.
This just in, the latest in governing recreational marijuana in Delaware. On Tuesday, the Senate passed a bill that limits county governments from putting their own limits on marijuana businesses. If approved, counties cannot block the building permits of these businesses if they meet all of the requirements. And medical and marijuana establishments that have permission to sell the drug recreationally must be allowed to keep operating even if it doesn't meet zoning rules. This comes after a recent protest from marijuana advocates at Delaware's Capitol over frustration with delays and restrictions. That bill is now being reviewed in the House.
Tonight in Lewis, how to plan for the city's future. That will come in the form of a new comprehensive plan. According to Delaware law, a new plan must be adopted by the fall of 2027. City's Planning Commission is looking for a professional consultant to develop it, to include population and housing growth, along with expanding city boundaries. The commission is expected to review this at Wednesday's meeting and set a May deadline for submissions.
We are just getting started in this hour of CoastTV News today.
Coming up, coastal completion nears. We get the latest on the new Rehoboth Beach Patrol Building, including the cost that's not meeting original projections.
Also, flooding fears update what could delay possible fixes in Fenwick Island.
And forever no more, the last hope for this business as it is set to close next month. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
6:12 on our Wednesday morning. FH Cam in Cambridge showing some blue skies. 48 degrees right now, 47 in Delmar, 48 in Redden, 49 in Ocean City, Indian River Inlet at 48. Breezes are picking up now, 10 to 15 miles per hour. They're going to get stronger later today. As we're looking at dry roads, good visibility, and a northwesterly flow that will keep us chilly today. Even some snow showers well to our north and west. We're not going to see that, but definitely cooler and breezier conditions as we go through your Wednesday. If you're taking a stroll on the boardwalk in Bethany Beach, you'll want to bundle up. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s this morning, and a westerly wind that's going to be gusting up to 25 to 30 miles per hour at times, especially this afternoon.
Bob, Delaware continues to make progress towards cleaner air. That's according to a new Denrick report. The agency released its annual air quality report that highlighted data from 2023. The report noted that despite pollution caused by wildfire smoke that happened during the spring and summertime, the state recorded 353 days with air quality rated as good or moderate. Denrick says officials in all 3 Delaware counties currently meet federal air quality standards. And for more information about this report, you can visit CoastTV.com.
People in Lewis are learning how city funds could be divided after a finance committee meeting on Tuesday. The goal of the city's investment policy is to restructure the funding into 4 categories. Each is designed for both the short-term needs and long-term investments of Lewis. That proposal is still under review. It will eventually need mayor and city council approval.
If you have a Forever 21 gift card or store credit, unfortunately the time has run out to use them. April 15th was the last day cards were valid. The retailer is preparing to close all of its stores after filing for bankruptcy in March. Forever 21 began its liquidation sales a few weeks ago. All locations will be closed no later than May 1st, unless of course a potential buyer steps in.
On location filming in Hollywood and the surrounding areas has plunged. That's according to a new report from Film LA, which is in charge of film permits for Los Angeles and Los Angeles County. The report states filming in the greater LA area decreased 22% during the first quarter of this year when compared to the same period last year. And the decline, it wasn't due to January's devastating wildfires. The report found those had a minimal impact on production.
We're seeing pretty colors on the tunnel and razor cam, the darker clouds and the sun coming up with pretty red colors there. 48 in Lewis right now. It will be a cool and breezy day. A chance for some frost tonight. Protect your plants, and then warming up into the Easter holiday weekend. Your full forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
Time is 6:17. Here's a live look at the early morning scene at the Roosevelt Inlet in Lewis. And thank you to our director, Cody, for getting this shot. Look at that just before sunrise. There's some great looking images there. Bob, I know you're tracking some mild conditions for today, but got to look out for a cold night.
Cold night tonight, Matt, and if the winds go calm, I think we will see some patchy frost. If the winds stay up, well, then the chances of frost go down. So right now, you see the little icicle here saying frost possible, as we could see temperatures dipping into the mid-30s tomorrow morning. Then after that, we're out of the woods. You can leave the plants outside and maybe for the rest of the spring. We're looking at temperatures well above freezing now. 47 Salisbury, 44 in Ocean Pines, 48 in Bethany Beach and Georgetown right now, 47. So it's cooler, but not especially cold, as we're looking at westerly winds now at around 6 to 12 miles per hour, gusting to 15 Indian River Inlet, 13 in Millsboro. They'll be picking up as we go through the morning hours. And skies have cleared out. We saw a few clouds earlier on, so mostly clear now. But I think we'll get into more clouds again later today with partly cloudy skies, as we have a lot of cold air aloft. And with the warming, that'll pop up some clouds as we're looking at a northwesterly flow. Even some snow showers across the mountains of West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and some lake effect snow into New York. So winter not done with some folks folks yet, as we're looking at this chilly air building in with high pressure back to the west, but that will keep our weather quiet the next couple of days. Here's Futurecast this morning, 6:30. We're looking at temperatures into the mid to upper 40s and then lower 50s by the 9 o'clock hour. You see the arrows beginning to change color. That's telling us the winds are beginning to pick up. By 1 p.m., upper 50s inland, mid 50s at the beaches. And then by 4, around 61 in Seaford, Milton around 60, Selbyville around 61 for you, but upper 50s at the coast. And then as we go into the evening, clear skies, the winds start to die down. And by morning, I think we'll see temperatures away from the coast around 36 to 39 degrees. Once again, depends on the winds. If the winds are up a little bit, it'll be on the warmer side. If they die down, a little on the colder side with some frost. Otherwise, lower 40s at the beaches. And then by Thursday afternoon, we're looking at temperatures into the lower 60s, similar to today, maybe a degree or two warmer, but cooler 50s at the beaches. And then not as cold as we go into Friday morning with temperatures right around 40 degrees. Those winds this afternoon gusting over 30 miles per hour. Make sure you secure the outdoor lawn ornaments and everything outside now, or bring it in, because it'll be a breezy to windy afternoon. And then if the winds stay up tonight once again, we will see that slight chance of a frost. If they calm down, then a better chance of a frost as we go into Thursday morning. So protect your plants and vegetation tonight for those temperatures dipping into the 30s. Then it's above normal temperatures to end the month of April. So who knows, maybe we're going to be in for a sustained period of spring-like temperatures and don't have to worry about frost anymore. Let's hope. Paul Davis, 7-day forecast, 60 today, and then maybe a little bit of frost tomorrow morning, 36, 62 on Thursday. Good Friday, partly cloudy, 70 degrees, up to 80 on Saturday. We do have a cold front coming through Saturday night, maybe a stray shower, and it could cool us back to around 72 on Sunday, Easter Sunday. But all in all, the holiday weekend looking good and looking mild and dry to start early next week.
How about that 80-degree forecast on Saturday? All right. Happening today in Fenwick Island, there is a focus on flooding issues. The town's infrastructure committee scheduled to hear an update from the Flooding and Stormwater Working Group. This group is tasked with finding solutions. Finding money to pay for those solutions, that is a current challenge. They are still waiting to hear back from DEMA to use demonstration projects. Property owners there say flooding is getting worse.
Occasional, every other year, 1-inch floods, and within 2 or 3 years they were 2-inch floods, and then there were several of them, and then they became 4-inch floods.
And those updates will be discussed at this morning's Infrastructure Committee meeting.
Up next on Coast TV News Today, coastal completion as summer gears up. We'll tell you an official say one of Rehoboth Beach's biggest projects will reach an end. Don't go anywhere.
We have an update in Rehoboth Beach. Crews there are in the final stretch of construction on the new Beach Patrol headquarters. City says the contractor is working to complete the project over the next 35 days. Officials say some of the last steps on the outside include siding, landscaping, and sidewalks. Also on the to-do list, tiling and drywall. City says the project is running about $750,000 over the budget to meet that mid-May deadline.
New this morning, volunteers took to the trails this weekend at Cape Henlopen State Park. On your screen right now is some of the work to clean up that area. Friends of Cape Henlopen State Park say volunteers began at the Nature Center and then worked their way down Seaside Nature Trail. About 70 pounds of trash was collected, and the group says people can join its Earth Day celebration on April 22nd, where they will clean up around East Louis.
This is an exciting news story for those of us that work the early morning hours, because your morning pick-me-up today might not cost you a thing.
Bob can get that large.
Yeah, Bob, you can go extra large. Extra large, because Wawa celebrating Wawa Day. They're offering free any size, that includes extra large, hot coffee at all its locations. People can take advantage of the promotion at the self-service bar at stores. According to the company, this year marks the 61st anniversary. Also, they're opening in Ohio, and Wawa says it expects to serve today about 1.5 million cups of coffee.
Bob just likes a bloop of cream for anyone who would like to know. And Easter is right around the corner, and you can start your Easter Sunday with music and meaningful conversation if you celebrate with Sunrise Sermons 2025, The Final Sacrifice. Services begin at 7 a.m. on Coast Country, 9:30 on the Delmarva Sports Network, and 10:30 right here on Coast TV. Matt, Bob has mentioned a word that you and I strongly dislike, frost.
Yeah, this occasionally appears on my banned word list if you're
yes,
keeping track at
yes.
home. Let's focus on today, Bob. If you're taking
Yeah.
some time on the beach, it's not a bad one if you're going for that walk or jog.
You know, I could throw snow in the forecast, too, if you'd like. No. You know, and if I am getting a free coffee, it's extra large all day. So, Wawa, here I come. Looking forward to that. Chincoteague and Assateague, partly cloudy skies today. Upper 50s in Chincoteague, around 57 in Assateague. But with the wind feeling cooler than that. Fenwick Island and Ocean City, mix of sun and clouds for you with temperatures into the mid to upper 50s. UV index is moderate, so make sure you have your sunscreen. On the bay side, 60 on today in Cambridge, 62 Thursday, up to 70 by Friday, and then Crisfield, lower 60s today, a little cooler Thursday, then upper 60s Friday, and then of course we saw that 80-degree reading for Saturday. Right now the Easter holiday weekend looking pretty good. I'll have more on your holiday weekend forecast coming up in the next half hour.
A break on Coast TV News today. Del.dot safety suggestions will tell you how the agency is looking for ways to make roads safer for drivers and pedestrians in the first state.
Also, attempt to bring Marylander back, how one senator is trying to take matters into his own hands in bringing back a deported migrant who lived in Maryland.
And Representative Parker Selby is still absent in the Delaware General Assembly. We'll tell you how that could mean trouble for the seat that covers Milton and parts of Lewis. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
No shows, speculation. Delaware State Representative Still Parker Selby continues to be absent from Legislative Hall. Now one candidate is gearing up to challenge her in the next election.
Lifting limits, that is what one marijuana bill is attempting to do in Delaware and the impact it could have on Sussex County.
Designs debated.
How are we going to get in and out of our development?
The concerns over a big Del.dot project planned for west of Lewis.
A cool and breezy Wednesday for Delmarva, then protect your plans tonight for the potential of frost, then warming up into the Easter holiday weekend. All those details coming up.
This is Coast TV News Today.
April 16th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Time is 6:30. Mild day today, but you just heard Bob say, Elisa, that we have to be ready for some frost overnight.
He said protect your plants. All my plants are faking inside, so I don't know.
So you're good. You're covered.
I'm all set. I mean, I'm not too happy about the frost, Bob, but...
She's not happy, Bob.
Come on.
Not happy.
No, I need to cheer Lisa up, and you know, as we talked about earlier, I killed my lemon tree. You know, it's not because of the frost. I over-fertilized our lemon tree, and now it's just a bunch of sticks sticking up. So I'll have him inside the lemon tree and bring in the tender plants tonight for that potential of frost. 47 in Salisbury, 46 in Delmar right now, well above freezing. Georgetown 47, 48 Indian River Inlet, 47 in Rehoboth. Right now, winds not too strong, gusting about 15 to 18 miles per hour, but they'll be getting stronger as we go through the day. Right now, we're looking at mainly clear skies. Had a few clouds earlier on as we're in a northwesterly flow. Even some snow into the mountains of West Virginia up into Pennsylvania. No snow for us, but definitely cooler air. And once that sun peaks behind clouds today, it's going to feel even cooler than the actual temperature. 40s early on, and then becoming breezy as we go through the morning hours. By noon, we're into the 50s. Then those winds gusting over 30 miles per hour this afternoon. Inland areas, lower 60s, some 50s at the coast. Once again, once that sun peaks in behind the clouds, it's going to be chillier. And a chilly ferry ride, too, up to Cape May with a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s, but feeling cooler with that stiff breeze.
Thank you, Bob. And we are now getting a live look at Dover. The 153rd session of the General Assembly resumes there today at Legislative Hall. And we are nearly 3 months into this session of the Delaware General Assembly, and the woman who represents District 20, Democrat Still Parker Selby, continues to be a no-show. On Tuesday, Coast TV was in Dover at Legislative Hall looking for updates on Representative Parker Selby. We were told the representative is on the road to recovery, and nobody could or would confirm that the representative is working from home. Starting today, there are about 75 days remaining of this session at Legislative Hall.
And just 6 months after Parker Selby won re-election, the woman who ran against her in November, Nikki Miller, says she's running again. In 2024, Miller ran as a Republican to represent District 20. She lost by just 245 votes, and according to her official Facebook page, She recently kicked off her campaign for 2026, running for that same seat.
We are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. Today, we are expecting more reaction over the issues of illegal immigration. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen says he is traveling to El Salvador in an attempt to bring back to the U.S. an illegal migrant who was living in Maryland and who was deported by the Trump administration. A federal judge issued new orders for the Trump administration to turn over evidence of what it's done to abide by her ruling. The Supreme Court has ruled the administration must facilitate Abrego Garcia's return to the U.S., but the White House argues El Salvador would first have to initiate his release.
The Trump administration itself has admitted that he was abducted and sent to this prison in error, and he should get his due process. He's from El Salvador, so that's a decision up to El Salvador.
An immigration judge granted Abrego Garcia protected status in 2019.
Here's the latest in governing recreational marijuana in Delaware. On Tuesday, the Senate passed a bill that limit county governments from putting their own limits on marijuana businesses. If approved, overall, counties cannot block the building permits of these businesses if they meet all requirements. Medical marijuana establishments that have permission to sell the drug recreational already must be allowed to keep operating even if it doesn't meet zoning rules. This comes after a recent protest from marijuana advocates at Delaware's Capitol over frustration with delays and restrictions. The bill is now being reviewed by the House.
And DelDOT is asking the public for input on planned upgrades to Plantation Road near Lewis. The agency took suggestions at a public meeting Tuesday night. Community members brought up several concerns at that meeting.
My concerns are, how are we going to get in and out of our development? I'm on the east side, so I can't speak for the other side, but yeah, I mean, that's going to be really difficult.
It's a big part of the design process is hearing from the public. These are the guys that drive the road and use the road, walk the road, every day. So it's important information for us. Really does drive the design. Some key decisions get made.
And that project is still in the early design phase, but plans include roundabouts, turn lanes, curbs, and bike and walking paths.
Happening today, Sussex County Planning and Zoning is set to go over a conditional use request for a homeless encampment on Route 1 in the Lewis area. It's called Taros. Code Purple at the Cape is making the request, and Site Director Mike Agnew has been working to bring this community back. Tents were placed at the old Delaware State Police Troop 7 lot in Lewis during the fall. If the Planning and Zoning Commission grants the approval, the request could then be taken up by County Council.
Also happening today at that same planning and zoning meeting, possible action on a proposal to bring more business and apartments to Lewis. That's at this farm property on Route 24. The area is right next to Beacon Middle School. Landowners are asking Sussex Planning and Zoning Committee for a zoning change. They are requesting to change the area from agriculture residential to C4 planned commercial district. If this project is ultimately approved, construction is expected to be completed in 2032. The Sussex County Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is tonight at 5 p.m.
New this morning in Delaware, there is a push restricting book bans in public schools and libraries. House Bill 119, it's called the Freedom to Read Act, says it would protect access to books by preventing the removal of them based on ideological, religious, or personal objections to an author's background or even the content. According to PEN America, the 2023-2024 school year saw more than 10,000 book bans nationwide. Disputes over books would go to a state review committee, and House Bill 119's been assigned to the House Administration Committee.
Money talks today in Frankfort. According to the town, officials will gather to discuss the budget for fiscal year 2026. The special council meeting takes place tonight at 6 p.m. at the town hall.
Still more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, Delaware seeks safety suggestions. We'll tell you how you can give your thoughts to the Office of Highway Safety and what topics are already front of mind.
Also, Sussex Academy shots. The Seahawks going for 3 in a row in girls soccer as they faced an Indian River club that was also looking to string together some wins.
And student appointment applications will tell you how Delaware students can help impact future programs and policies for their peers. Stay with us on Coast TV News Today.
We salute Lloyd McAllister. Lloyd McAllister served with honor and bravery as a navigator aboard a B-24 bomber in the China-Burma-India theater during World War II. His heroic actions and personal sacrifices played a vital role in our nation's victory over Japan. Lloyd's unwavering commitment to duty embodies the spirit of the U.S. Army Air Forces, always ready to fly, fight, and win.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
6:40 on our Wednesday morning, looking at the gutter helmet cam, a choppy Indian River Bay with partly cloudy skies right now. 46 degrees there, 47 in Georgetown, Indian River 48. So we're looking at uniform temperatures in the mid to upper 40s as the breezes are picking up now, gusting around 10 to close to 20 miles per hour. They'll be gusting over 30 miles per hour this afternoon as we're looking at mostly clear skies right now. And I think we'll be in and out of those clouds today. And once that sun goes behind the clouds, it's going to feel chilly with this northwesterly flow as we go through the day. Today's checklist: don't need the rain gear, need the heavier jacket though. Drive with caution with those stronger winds, especially across bridges and exposed areas. Make sure you have the warm beverage, and sunglasses are a must as well. And congratulations to Danny Jenkins from Milton on winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV.
A quick traffic alert for you in Georgetown. Right now there's an emergency road closure over Cokesbury Road. This is between Seashore Highway and Hastings Farm Road. A crossroad pipe is being repaired there, and DelDOT says this all should be done by tomorrow.
Also new this morning, an opportunity for Delaware students to make a difference. Applications are now open for the State Board of Education Student Board member. According to the Board of Education, that student would not be a voting member, but they would give lawmakers insight on views and perspectives of their peers. The 11th or 12th grader must attend a Delaware public school and live in the first state. The board says applications are due May 5th.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Sussex Academy came into last night's game on a roll. The reigning Henlopen champs were seeking their third straight win and fifth in their last 6 games. And they were on home turf, welcoming in Indian River, the 6-2 Seahawks hosting 4-2 IR in an exciting Henlopen matchup. The deadlock finally breaks in the 29th minute. Deborah Williams heads it home off the corner. The junior makes it 1-0 Seahawks. 3 minutes later, Indian River says we can do that too. Allison Tucker takes it down the field, one defender to beat. Check this out. Fires from an impossible angle. It bounces through the hands of Ella Sprucebank and in. IR ties it at 1, but in the second half, Lightning strikes twice. Another corner, another Williams header to clinch it. Sussex Academy wins its third straight game behind a 2-1 victory. And in minor league baseball, the Shorebirds kicked off their road series against the Carolina Mudcats. Delmarva fell 11-10 and will look to even out the series tonight at 6:30 p.m. Make sure to download the DSN app and subscribe to DSN Plus so you don't miss any of our coverage. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 4, we have live Bayside Conference softball. That's when Mardella hosts North Dorchester. And then it is the final score at 10:30. Let's go over to that DSN Plus app because you get that softball game. And then you have these exclusives. It's all boys lacrosse today. At 4, Indian River travels to Smyrna. Bennett visits Cambridge, South Dorchester. 5:30, we have Decatur home with Queen Anne's, and Sussex Tech hosting Odessa.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's a look at what's coming up this afternoon on Coast Life at 4.
Well, I hope you're enjoying your hump day so far, but we got to see what's coming up today at 4 on Coast Life. If you're looking for some volunteer opportunities and you've got a pet that might qualify to be a therapy pet, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that and introduce you to the starring role model as well.
And a lot of people like to stop and smell the roses, but we're going to take a tour through the tulips as we go downtown with Lewis and Bloom and take a look at what they've got cooking.
We know we've got a lot of country music fans here along Delmarva's coast, and I hear there's an opportunity to get your hands on some free tickets to Country's Calling.
It's the right
We'll tell you
price.
how you can do that as well. All that fun is coming up today on Coast Life. We'll see you at 4 o'clock.
We're starting to see the sunshine now in the Tyndall's Casual Furniture Camp 45 in Laurel. Lots of blue skies, and it's going to be a breezy day. And then protect your plants tonight for a chance of some patchy frost away from the coast. And then warming up into the Easter holiday weekend. I'll have your full forecast details in 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
The time is now 6:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning. And Bob, there's that sun coming up. That is a beautiful clear sky, a little mild today, but our director in my ear just said give him some snow, and your banner says frost. Bob, what is happening?
Yeah, we don't want to go backwards towards winter. We want to look forward towards spring, and that's what we're hoping for. But with this latest cold snap with clear skies and calm conditions tonight, we could see some frost. That's if the winds go calm. If the winds stay up, the chances for frost decrease. But right now, it's a possibility of frost away from the coast. And then after that, we're out of the woods, and you can leave your plants outside. For the rest of the season, don't know about that, but definitely a chance of frost tonight. 47 in Redden right now in Rehoboth Beach, 48 in Ocean City, 47 in Salisbury. No threat for frost this morning as temperatures are well above freezing, and we have a westerly breeze right now. And at times it's gusting close to 20 miles per hour at the coast, about 14 miles per hour in Millsboro. And as we go through the day, those winds will ramp up, so make sure you secure those outdoor items. We're looking at mostly clear skies right now. We had a few clouds from time to time this morning, and I think we're looking at partly cloudy skies today as our flow has turned in out of the northwest. And once that sun goes behind clouds, you're definitely going to feel that cooler air. We have seen some snow showers across the mountains to our west. We're not going to see that, but definitely the cooler air with this air mass coming across the Great Lakes. You can see that snow across New York and into the Great Lakes too, with high pressure building in from the west. And as that high gets closer and the winds start to die down, that's when we have a chance of seeing that frost tonight. Here is Futurecast this morning. Temperatures in the 40s and 50s. You see the colorful arrows indicating the stronger winds through the morning hours. It's a slow climb through the 50s. By 1 p.m. we're into the upper 50s, and then by 4 p.m. around 62 in Salisbury, 61 in Millsboro, so not bad in the sunshine and out of the wind, 50s at the coast. And then we'll start to see those winds diminishing overnight. If they totally die down, I think a very good chance of frost inland. If they stay up a little bit, then that's when we'll see some mixing in temperatures out of that frost range. But right now we're thinking about 36 to 39 degrees inland and lower 40s at the beaches. Lower 60s once again tomorrow afternoon, and then not as cold Friday morning with temperatures into the lower 40s as we're seeing those winds gusting over 30 miles per hour today, maybe up to about 35. Secure those outdoor lawn ornaments and decorations. And then the winds, I think, dying down tonight. Not totally calm, but low enough that we could definitely see that chance for frost with lows in the mid-30s. So make sure you protect your plants. And then above normal temperatures to end the month of April. Paul Davis 7-day forecast, 60 today. That frost chance tonight, 62. Lots of sunshine Thursday. And then by Good Friday up to 70. And pretty good weather heading into the Easter holiday weekend. 80 on Saturday, but then a little cooler on Sunday, but dry, 72. And then dry and mild into early next week.
All right, thank you, Bob. The Delaware Office of Highway Safety looking for help in making roads safer. Tuesday was the first of 4 public forums giving neighbors across the state a chance to share their biggest concerns about road safety. It could be from speeding to distracted driving. No table is off the topic here. Officials say that while traffic deaths have been on a downward trend, meetings like Tuesday's help keep that momentum going.
We want people to feel like they're being heard. We want to take what your traffic concerns are and turn it into maybe a new campaign to help change driver behavior. We want to see safer behaviors out on the roadways.
And for more information about meeting locations and times, you can check out the Delaware Office of Highway Safety's website.
And the time is now 6:51, so we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet, I love this picture, celebrating a birthday on your screen. That's Bruce. Bruce is now 16 years old And we hope you had a great day. A belated happy birthday to Bruce. And Bruce was submitted to us by Nadine in Ocean View.
And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what make them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yeah, that QR code there at the top. Scan that, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
We're starting to see the breezes picking up out there. We can see that on the FH4 camera right now in the marina in Cambridge, 48 degrees. Near 60 this afternoon, feeling colder with the wind. Those winds die down tonight with a chance of patchy frost, so protect your plants. And then warming up into the Easter holiday weekend. I'll have your 10-day forecast coming up next. Stay tuned.
Time is now 6:54, and it's time to check in with the things you need to know before you go. Happening today, possible action on a proposal to bring more businesses and apartments to Lewis. That's at the farm property on Route 24. The area is right next to Beacon Middle School, and landowners are asking the Sussex Planning and Zoning Committee to change the area from agricultural residential to a C4 planned commercial district.
Happening today, Sussex County's Planning and Zoning Commission is set to discuss conditional use request for a homeless encampment on Route 1 in Lewis. It's called Taros. Code Purple at the Cape is making this request, and the site director, Mike Agnew, has been working to bring this community back. Tents were placed at the old State Police Troop 7 lot in Lewis during the fall.
Happening today in Fenwick Island, a focus on flooding issues in the town. According to the agenda, the town will hear an update from the Flooding and Stormwater Working Group. The group aims to address the problems caused by flooding, but it needs funding. They've reached out to a potential funding from DEMA to use demonstration projects, but have not heard back.
Crews in Rehoboth Beach are in the final stretch of construction on the new Beach Patrol headquarters. We see some of that work there. City says the contractor is working to get this done in the next 35 days, and officials say some of the last steps on the outside include siding, landscaping, and sidewalks. City says this project is running about $750,000 over budget in order to meet that mid-May deadline.
And at 6:56, we're going to take another look at your confusing April forecast.
It is confusing, Elisa.
Enjoy
it today, Bob, because you are tracking frost for overnight.
It's a roller coaster, isn't it? I mean, we're going to be up to 80 degrees by Saturday, but then before then, we do have that chance of frost tonight, so make sure inland areas that you protect your plants, cover them or bring them in. Today, we're looking at a mix of sun and clouds, so stay in the sun and out of the wind if you can. Those winds gusting over 30 miles per hour this afternoon. We'll see highs near 60 inland areas and 50s at the beaches. Then those winds start to die down tonight, and that's when we have that possibility of a frost. I'm thinking around 36 around the Georgetown area. Paul Davis 10-day forecast. After that cold start, 62 with sunshine on Thursday. Then heading into the holiday weekend, Good Friday, partly cloudy, 70 up to 80 on Saturday. Maybe some showers Saturday night, but much of the holiday weekend is dry. Easter Sunday is a little cooler, 72, and then 60s and 70s to start next week into the midweek time period, then a chance of some showers by next Thursday and Friday. But until then, looking pretty dry with a nice warm up into the weekend.
Thank you, Bob, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
For even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Wednesday morning, everybody.